Good morning and welcome to GrainTV. It's October 9th, 2012. I'm Logan Burgess. Joining me to my right is Brock Shimano. Brock, let's jump into fire tip, see how the grains are trading here in the early going on a Tuesday morning. We see corn, soybeans, and wheat all trading higher. Right now we have wheat, the leader to the upside. Strong move here higher out of the dollar index, up about half a point, now trading above 80. We have crude oil up $1.40 a barrel. A lot of blue right now on this trade screen, Brock. Macro markets are relatively supportive here this morning. Not a lot going on. As it pertains, however, to the grains, though, the trade is squarely focused on Thursday's supply and demand report and crop production. I know yesterday we looked at U.S. production estimates a little bit. Today we wanted to kind of go on the international front, specifically Europe, former Soviet Union, and South America. You took wheat out of Europe. What are we looking at there?
Yeah, I want to take a closer look at what the wheat production has looked like over the last couple of years in relation to what the estimates are for this year. If you take a look at this graph here, you can see the blue bar is actually 2010, the yellow bar is 2011, and then the red and green are the last two estimates by the WASDE report. You can see that the European Union and the former Soviet states are by far and away the leaders in the world wheat production. But the thing I'd like to point out is the former Soviet states have declined substantially from their 2011 production and over the last couple of estimates. So that's something we're going to have to pay attention to in Thursday's report. Where are we going to see this show up for the United States prices? Well, we're going to see it on the export competition.
All right.
Export competition on the world front. Former Soviet states actually had about 25% of last year's total exports in the world market. So that's a significant number. We've continued to lose sales to the former Soviet states. This year, Ukraine, Russia have stepped in and made large sales to Egypt in particular. But their estimated exportable surpluses this year have actually declined over the last couple of estimates as well. So I think if we see another revision lower in those estimates, we're going to see a lot more orders coming to the United States. We're going to have to keep this bid underneath the market, keep relatively high wheat prices going forward throughout the rest of the year.
Certainly. So out of Thursday's report, the wheat market's going to be watching those figures out of Europe and the former Soviet Union very closely. Corn and soybeans, on the other hand, are going to be watching South American production very closely. As you can see here, the top table is the September WASDE report and private analyst expectations for Brazil. The bottom here is Argentina. Right now, if you look in the first column here, you can see that the USDA projected around 81 million tons produced for the 12-13 crop out of Brazil for soybeans. We have the CONAB coming out and saying 82.8 here, so slightly higher. I don't think a lot of people in the trade would be surprised by a production estimate north of 82 million tons. The big thing, though, to keep in mind is how does this figure kind of compare to U.S. production projected for 12-13. Projections for this upcoming October report put U.S. soybean production at around 75 million tons. So if Brazil is able to come to market with 82 million tons here out of the 12-13 crop, they're going to have a firm grasp on global supply of soybeans. How is that going to play out in our market right now? Well, if we take a look at the inverted market between November and May. Right now November is trading at about $1.02 premium over May. If we go November out to July, we're looking at about $1.15 premium there. So anybody thinking about storing beans certainly needs to watch South American production very closely. If there are any production issues at all out of Brazil, we're going to see that spread really collapse here as we move through our winter. However, if they're able to come to market here, we could see some substantial pressure put on those more deferred contracts May, July, and beyond there. We'll have to keep an eye on that, though, here moving forward. Later this afternoon, we will be getting out crop production and progress reports here from the USDA. We'll be reporting about that here this afternoon on Twitter. @GrainTV is where you can find us. I think that wraps up our show here for Tuesday morning, Brock. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.